Shefsky here. Welcome to Fantasy House. Every week, a different special guest gives us a wonderful tour through their imaginary fantasy house. It is so much fun. It is HGTV, cartoony, MTV Cribs weirdness, and it's just creative and fun, healthy for everybody's brain, and I hope you enjoy it. Every episode is brought to you by me, Jon Shefsky. Oh, yeah, it's the world's only NSFW real estate podcast. I listened to like a million real estate podcasts over the past few years, and I'm like, this is the only NSFW. Everything else is just like, yeah. And I'm like, no, we're going to freaking talk here. I said freaking when I said NSFW.
Yes,
I'm still scared to say it in the intro, but if you listen long enough, you'll hear some cursing. You'll hear some opinions. Every episode is brought to you by me, Jon Shefsky, your local Southern California realtor. I know there's a pandemic going on, but check it out. I wear a mask, and I can still show you properties, and we can still sell your home. Or we can just talk about real estate post-pandemic, which I heard recently there is going to be a post-pandemic world, thank God. Yes, this will end, and we will get through it. And, if you want to talk real estate, hit me up. Doesn't cost you anything. Free consultation at JONSHEFSKY. Why not? Just go to Instagram, Jon Shefsky. Or you can email me, fantasyhousepodcast@gmail.com. My guest today is a hilarious comedian, great dude, and I'm excited for you to hear his our conversation and his fantasy house and all that good stuff. Greg Edwards is here. Yes, super stoked. Now, in the words of the great Angelo Bowers, let us do this.
Won't you take it all the friends over to your fantasy house? Your host with the most experience guest in your fantasy house. Get all the money for expensive construction. The only limit is your imagination. All the friends over to your fantasy house right now.
All right.
My neighborhood can be a little loud sometimes.
No worries. I feel like everyone's expecting us to have crappy sound. I've had my kids crying in the background of the podcast. I'm like, you know what? It's a novelty. In 20 years, we'll be like, remember the pandemic and how we recorded? So,
We did all this perfect shit. Well, I think after all this happens, audio will become perfect. Like, we'll have every solution for audio.
oh, yeah. Did you ever listen to James Altucher?
No.
He always has entrepreneurs and interesting people as guests, and they were talking about like some sort of forced acceleration with technology.
Mm-hmm.
That
This is
whenever
the
there's
time.
like to anyone that's into like history or whatever, there's like whenever there's like emergency and big crazy stuff like pandemics, it forces stuff that like it was going to take 10 years to do a certain kind of technology. Now it's like, oh, we'll just have the robots making hamburgers next month then instead. Like, and they're doing stuff like that already, like behind the scenes that we don't even know about. In good ways and bad ways. I mean,
Oh, of course. Always. Anytime something good, it's always going to be something bad as well.
and vice versa. Yeah, right. It's a yin and a yang. So I don't know. How have you
Yeah, I
been?
love all this. I love all the just the different things I've been seeing. I mean, with I think even with healthcare, how they did school for a little bit. How teachers were like using Zoom and stuff like. I mean, look at Zoom.
Yeah.
I didn't even know about Zoom before the pandemic. It was mostly what did we use? I guess just like the
FaceTime or Google?
we did FaceTime, we did Google Hangout. But now there's so many other ones. House Party. I love the House Party app.
Yeah, I haven't done that one yet.
That one's great, man. Yeah.
My wife and I did a thing where we played a game with another couple, and we're playing on our phone and pressing, entering our answers, and then looking at the laptop we had a blast. We were like,
It's great. It's great.
Everything's fine. Look at us.
Yeah.
We're still having a good time. Everything's okay.
It's better hanging out. I don't talk to I've spoken to like friends over like Zoom and over these apps from back home more than I would regularly talk to them. So yeah.
Well, that's good. I mean, if it opens up that new appreciation for it, and I think that's one of the benefits of all this stuff is being forced to communicate like this. And I really like just the simplification of stuff. Like, do you notice like how it's like, well, I can't do anything this weekend except for, clean my room and, take care of something. I'm going to do push-ups tomorrow. Normally I'd be too busy. I'm going to do push-ups tomorrow morning. I've never stuck to a workout routine like I have since this fucking pandemic.
No, it's been great. I canceled my gym membership, man. I just work out I run and I work out at home. It's great.
That's so great. I put mine on hold. So I think they get like, I don't pay anything for like a few months. Then I have to pay like a $50 a year, whatever they call it, fee. Like they're always trying to find new ways. Like they put a name on it. They put a name on it. Like, it's a maintenance fee. I was like, well, what did you do to maintain? I'm in a Excel spreadsheet and you charge me. Like, what maintenance are you charging me? But, I'm like, okay, just so you can stay open, just try to contribute to the economy. But fucking, could you charge me $10 for the maintenance fee instead of 50? But whatever.
Exactly.
I'm not paying by month now. I ordered a kettlebell. We'll see what happens.
There you go. There you go.
Oh, dude. So what like, do you have anything like, obviously we're locked in, but how serious are you taking like safety right now?
I mean, I go to the grocery store.
Yeah.
I go to Staples to like print out art to send to people. And that's pretty much it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, my wife, we're supposed to get married during this whole pandemic, but we had to cancel our wedding. But yeah, my wife.
Well, she's your wife to me, dude.
That's what I've been saying.
You don't need to get the government involved in this. You guys are married, damn it. I'm not gonna let no virus particles get in the way of this shit.
No, we kind of like, she's taking her test to be a midwife.
Okay.
So she's gonna start doing that after she gets the results back. So she's really kind of being extra about not interacting with people, which has been kind of hard because some people are like, hey, come on, let's hang out. And I'm like, I'm sorry, man. I just don't want to really. So we're really taking it serious. Yeah.
There's a lot of people that are doing what you're saying. Like, let's just hang out. You're like, it's not a person you're kind of negotiating with. They're just like weird. And I think it's just a Western thing because we're so spoiled in America.
Yeah.
This weird like thing where people are like, well, I don't want to change what I'm doing. I've never had to before. And it's like yeah, this isn't like you're not arguing with a person or like a political point of view here, or like you're not at a negotiation table doing business. It's a fucking virus. There are these microscopic things that they don't know you or care about you, and there's nothing that they want that you can give them. It's just that if you interact that way, you could get sick. If you don't, like, but so many people are like, well, what if we? And I'm just like, oh, hang on a second. Let me go and call a couple of those fucking viruses up and see if they're okay with that. Do you guys mind if we split the difference? Like, it's such bullshit. But I think we're just, and I'm not blaming anyone because it's in my own family and we've had to do a lot of adjustments within our own family, but it just feels so natural in the way we've all lived. I'm only 39, so for me, my whole life has been like it's a convenient world. Like I don't have to hunt for my food. No one's out to try to kill us. Like it's
do what you want.
Yeah. So all of a sudden to just find out like you can't do this. Like no, that's for people in other countries that don't have the benefits of America that have to do that. It's like oh no, it's the whole world, including you, spoiled American. And I'm just like okay, all right.
It's so spoiled.
It's so apparent.
So bad.
It's so apparent now during this. It's really brought it to the surface for me.
But also, it's like I'm watching all these videos where people are like getting mad at people. If they're not wearing masks, I'm like, hey, if they're not wearing a mask, stay away from them. Let them deal with their own issues. Some of it's like I think as Americans we're spoiled, but we're also hella nosy and just gotta say shit. I'm like, yo, just leave it alone. Let them if they want to fuck around and. Go raw dog on Corona. Let them go raw dog.
Raw dog on Corona. In the United States of America. No one's going raw dog on Corona on my watch.
I mean, I'm wearing my condoms.
I'm wearing a condom right now. I'm going to put one over my head soon like a Naked Gun. No, actually, that would be a great mask, huh? If you just do you remember Naked Gun when they both put on the condoms over their full bodies? Like, fucking sneeze around me. I don't give a shit. I don't think it's a problem for people that are like I live all the way out far into the suburbs, and like you can.
You out in Rialto, right? I mean, you got your crib.
I'm in Laverne, so I'm like.
Okay.
You know where?
Laverne is.
Yeah, so I'm right back there, and like if someone's jogging down the street and doesn't have a mask on, which nobody does, you can easily go to the other side of the street. So it's not like living in the city or whatever. You can just be like, oh, cool, this person's, and people avoid in general like that for safety, I think. But when people aren't wearing a mask in the city, or when they're going into a place where employees are constantly exposed, that's when it's like, man, it's beyond like, hey, do what you're gonna do. You can raw dog. It's like it's not staying between you and your partner raw dogging.
True.
Like I have a couple really close friends that work in like the shitty world of work. What do you call it? Working in stores, grocery stores. I mean, it was just like it wasn't good before the pandemic. It was crappy. I was like, you need to get a different gig. Hilarious comedian, by the way, but still just working his way up and working in a grocery store. And those people get super sick because they're exposed to, and there's all these conspiracy nuts that think the whole thing's a joke or whatever. And I'm like, even if it was a conspiracy, like I would be the conspiracy theorist. It's like, but I'm going to wear my mask in case I'm wrong about the conspiracy. But so many of these conspiracy theorists are so sure of themselves. It's so ironic how the dumbest people, they won't believe scientists, doctors, anybody that's educated that spent their whole life like learning about this stuff
doing this.
Then they believe it. Reality TV people and like just clearly the dumbest, like people that have no concern for them, and they'll be like, that person's telling me the truth. This guy over here, total liar. But the guy who's got a record of has 50 people that are telling him he's a sexual assaulter and has ripped off 1 million people, I think that guy's got my best interest. And it blows my mind how many people. I'm like, well, even if you did think that, wouldn't you just wear a mask just in case you could be wrong?
It's a weird world. It's a weird world we live in right now.
I like how I have the ramble rant, and then you sum it all up into a concise. Mwah.
It's just, I mean, we are living in some, as comedians, I feel like we've seen some of like everything and just interacted in spaces where people like almost go off the edge. I've seen so many people just go off the edge, just really let loose and let the crazy out. And it's just happening so much. It's like, I just want people to just like, yo, chill, dog. Yeah. I wish I could give people hugs. People really need hugs right now.
Ironically, this is the point that these people need the hugs the most. They're like, the antidote for what they've got, and I can't give it to them.
I can't. You need a hug, dog.
And, you mentioned like people, like comedian and people on the fringe, people going over the edge, people wild and wacky. I don't have a problem with that. I don't believe in correctness. I don't believe in any of this stuff. I think people should go wacky and be as crazy as they want in those safe positions in life.
Yeah.
It's only scary when people are in leadership positions that you're like, uh-oh, you can't go wacky in that position. Or with the virus right now where it's like, hey, a lot of people's lives are at stake. So even though I want you to be able to be wacky, you gotta not be wacky, right? It's like someone walking around waving a handgun this way. It's like, whoa. Like, go out to Joshua Tree, do some mushrooms in the desert, but don't jump behind the forklift and start doing mushrooms in the factory. You know what I mean? Like,
my wife's right there. Come on, man.
Please don't point that this way. Come on, there's kids over here.
Yeah.
Because I want people to be able to go wild and be wacky and weird.
They need to.
Yeah, but like do that in the right setting. But don't do it here when we got the pandemic. Take a deep breath. Hey, I see you got the Kanye poster behind you. Please don't.
Oh yeah, man.
That's your next presidential candidate.
Not at all. Not at all.
Speaking of wacky,
I'm keeping Kanye up just because I just want him to get better, man. I just this dude's been talk about losing a family member that will really push you over the edge, and losing somebody that actually you trusted and had all your faith in, and then they're gone, and you just like go off the deep end, man. And he's. I feel for him, man. I still feel bad for him. Yeah.
Oh, I don't
even joke him anymore. I just literally feel bad for this man. Yeah.
I definitely have empathy for whatever his human experience is. It trips me out how much of it definitely is a blow to the gut when a hero turns out to be like, whoo, which is, it's just like, oh man, like, because you think that they're iron, like they're just like, nothing's going to happen to your hero. And then you find that out, you're like, fuck, if he felt from grace that much, like have lost his mind that much, like I think like he's so much stronger than me. Like his will, his talent, his abilities, his brain. And then you're like, well, if he could lose it, well, holy shit! Like
we can all go down, and they hit him in all. They hit him like the world just hit him in all the right places too. It's just women. I don't know his relationship, but I don't think that family is the best family for him to be.
The Kardashians. Why?
I don't think that's the best support family for you to be. He got some beautiful kids, and I'm sure that's helped him evolve a little bit. But it's just that mental capacity of a man that used to have something to say and used to be fearless and on a certain line, just is really shit in the bed. But even though he's still creating dope art, he's just shit in the bed in like this other side of his brain. And it's just, I feel bad for him because I really love that dude. I really respected him, but yeah.
Well, I appreciate that you love him, and I think that it's good to have empathy for him and to appreciate that like he's just a human being like the rest of us, and so you can still love his art and you can still love him like you would love anybody that you love as an artist, but then also be like, whoo, like, I mean, like Nirvana was like my favorite band since I was a little kid. And like at this age, I'm like, man, I can't believe that I worshipped Kurt Cobain when I was 13. Like
you and everybody though.
He was such a dramatic asshole. I mean, he was brilliant. He was brilliant. He had a tough life or tough childhood and whatnot. But also, you know, I still love him. And I remember reading about how he fought with Axl Rose and he hated Guns N' Roses. And I was like, well, I still love Guns N' Roses too. So I can't not like him because he's just a human being. And I love him for his art. And the same goes for comedy. Think about how many comics we know that are insane, but are great
crazy. Yeah.
They can be cool people one minute, they can be psychos, and I mean that's all of entertainment, right? It's all of the business.
All of humanity. We're all like that, though.
Just balance, people. They still haven't found shit out about Mr. Rogers. He is still awesome.
You're right. No, Mr. Rogers is great. He was
if some people start coming forward that he was sexually harassing them or whatever, I'd flip the hell out. I'm sure someo's going to claim it eventually. Just funny. No, you're right though. Humanities, we've got some. It's a difficult journey, man.
It's great, yeah. It's fucked up. It's hard. It's hard. We're not perfect. We're all we're trying. We got these emotions that it's hard to deal with, you know. Yeah, man. It's fucking not easy.
It's not easy. And when it is, you got to stop and appreciate it. Take a deep breath and like soak it in and be like, ooh, it feels easy right now. This is good. It might not last forever feeling this easy, but holy shit.
There you go. Yeah, it's nice right now.
Right?
Yeah, I agree.
Well, let's see. Do you want to? Should we get into your fantasy house or?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Take us on a tour.
Yeah.
Take us on a tour.
Okay. My fantasy crib actually. It's two things that I've always wanted to do. I was like, you know, always said to myself, like, if I ever get some money, but now it's just like, fuck it, I'm just saving for these little things. Well, my fantasy right now in California, I want to just buy. They have these 5-acre plots in Joshua Tree.
Oh yeah, dude, I look at those all the time. I'm always on that.
All the time. Joshua Tree, 29 Palms.
Yep.
And that's been like my dream since the first time I went to Joshua Tree. I was like, yeah, this is dope. And back then it was like maybe 8 years ago, and they had so many plots. And like now it's small now. Everybody's doing it. Everybody's like, because it's so cheap.
Dude, they've quadrupled in price too. Like you used to be able to buy an acre out there for like $2,000 or $3,000.
Yeah.
You could literally buy it for a couple $1,000. You could be like, I own my own camping spot. Like I don't know why I didn't do it when I was younger. It's not
crazy.
That cheap anymore.
No. It's still, I mean, you know, more like, Apple Valley?
Oh, yeah, you can buy some Apple Valley.
You can get some out there. But J Tree and 29 Palms, I still see stuff like now, like a really dilapidated cabin for like $20,000 with 5 acres. But yeah, that's...
location-wise, too, out there, like it varies. So you can find like 5 acres and be like, this is 5 acres that's going to be really hard to build on with like really crumbly, nasty rock.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you'll be like up against highways and whatnot. So to get like that good like mountain front, like in front of the foothill mountain stuff, dude, that stuff is so expensive right now.
It is.
And I'm like, damn it.
I know, right? 10 years ago, nothing. It would have been so easy.
I didn't have any money. I was just like going from like crappy gig I was like catering at the Bloodsoes and going to like, I got a writing gig, got $200 and like, no way I was thinking about buying property. Although I probably could have at that time with $200. I'd be like, that would have been my monthly payment. Fuck.
Yeah, that would have been a down payment. No, it's true. It's yeah. No, I hear you.
I love the desert. So okay, I'm excited. Okay, so we're flying the fantasy house orange drone over, and you got a nice 5 acres out in Joshua Tree. 5
acres, 5-acre plot. And I mean, fantasy wise, I want to do it with shipping containers. I want to have like, you know, like small, like maybe, you know, 3 or, I mean, let's go fantasy. All right, 6 shipping containers, 2 by 2 by 2, standing up. Yep. And underneath is like a garage that you can park the car in. But I don't want just one of those. I want to build like not a city, but like a place where like, say if I got 10 friends, hey, you and your family come out, we all go out together. Yeah. And we have like a little lane where it's like 5 on 5, and there's a pool, basketball court, so people can just go out and chill in that area. And we just, you know, take care of it, you know, rent it out, and that's the whole dream, man. Just a pool, and start off with one. And I want to build them. I don't want to just like pay for it. I want to help.
That's the only way that they're affordable, actually, because the labor, if you take the labor, what you have to do when you buy a shipping container to reinforce them. Now, I've never done a shipping container project myself, but you know Sandro Yocolano.
Yeah.
Sandro, he has land out there. And,
Okay, really? I didn't know that.
oh yeah, we got to connect on this. I'm so excited. That's why I'm like, whoa. So I've researched shipping containers like to every end because I love the shape and the ability to like Lego block them. Once you start customizing them though, like if you're not just going to throw a shipping container down,
You got to put a bar in.
yeah, you got to put a bunch of supports in there, and you end up spending as much as building traditional if you're going to hire someone to do it. But if you're going to do it yourself and it's your project, then that's rad, and you can save quite a bit of money and make it affordable.
Sandro has land out there? He's put he did a shipping container?
He doesn't live in the shipping container, but he has a shipping container just for storage out there.
Nice. I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, but I've been planning on stuff and looking at things with him, like how we could build cool stuff. And shipping containers has been coming up as a exciting thing to do. It's just that finding out the right way to do it, because it's just very easy to buy the shipping containers, put them together, and then find out what I have to do to actually support them and have them made to feel like what I want it to feel like. It's going to end up costing more than just having a builder slab and start putting stuff up. So it's a really interesting thing. And I guess I don't have all the details on me right now, but when we're not recording, I'll give you some of the. I've looked into some of the people out there, like who's doing this, who's the contractor out that way, who's working on this stuff. So, anyways, I'll let you move on. I got so excited, I got like a full-on real estate boner. I was like, yes, keep going, shipping container, Joshua Tree, yes.
Oh, man. No, it's been a dream for a while just to do that, and just to also also just find one of those just dilapidated cabins and just repair the cabin.
Yeah,
and fix it up from there. Get my water tank or dig a well. Probably do water tank though. Yeah. Solar and if it's close to a electric pole, do it that style too. But yeah, that's always been a dream. Doing that and also buying property in my hometown. I'm from Newport News, Virginia, and it's like a small city, but like there's people. Well, not everybody. It's a lot of people leave. And a lot of people stay, I guess, just like any small town. Yeah. But the houses are like cheap. But they're shooting up. Recently, they've been shooting up too. It's been the same thing. I've been looking there and looking at Joshua Tree, Trulia, and Zillow. I mean, those are my spots I'm searching for. But fix up a house back home so I can have a place back home and have a place out here too.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. And me and my wife, we just bought our first house, and I guess we're in between Watts and Inglewood.
Yeah.
We just bought our first place, which is awesome. I fucking love it. It's great. It's beautiful. I love cutting the grass, weed whacking.
It's such an exciting feeling to just
it's awesome.
Taking care of your own stuff and feeling like this is my place.
Yeah.
Oh, it's great.
It's beautiful.
All right, so take us inside your Joshua Tree compound. Take us in the front door and show us what's up.
Oh, okay. So you go in, and I want to have the 6 shipping containers, right? Boom, 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 boom. And I want the inside wall to be cut out. So you're going to have that support beam, the load carrying beam on each one.
Yeah.
So you walk in, and I have on the first floor, you're going to have your kitchen on the whole wall, 6 gas burner right here, a nice fucking island, probably cement island.
Cement island, yeah.
Cement island. Gonna have that nice wrap L couch, with the I don't want to go 55 inch, but I'll probably go around 40. Keep it 40. That's I don't want to be too big in Joshua Tree.
This is the most humble fantasy house. 30-inch TV at the most. Like, you can have a whole wall.
I want people to go outside. I want to, I want to go outside.
House, yeah. Get out of here. What are you guys doing sitting here?
Come on, no. We're gonna have Wi-Fi stuff. Yeah, but have that living area. I also want to have. I want to have the stairs. As soon as you walk in, you have your, that kitchen and that loft style living area. But with the stairs going up, I want them to just go second floor, but also I want to have third floor right there. You know how some stairs you got to go around. I want to have it all access to the third floor and to the rooftop. And within the second and third floor, I want to have these nets where you can just sit and hang out on the nets. You can just lay on the nets attached to the stairs, and just have just have each room has maybe not each room, but there's a bathroom underneath the stairs down on the first floor, a bathroom in between the 2 bedrooms on the second floor. Third floor, all 1 bedroom. That's just the master suite with a nice bathroom facing the mountains. And on the top floor, on the rooftop, jacuzzi, sauna, and just
sauna. I want a sauna so bad.
Oh yeah,
I'm looking at saunas right now. I'm like,
you got to. Why not,
dude? I haven't been to one in forever. I haven't been to the gym in forever. I love.
It feels so good.
If we were filming your episode right now, like it would be like we would be stepping into the sauna together, like the camera. So like, this is Greg's sauna right now. We're gonna hop in. Like, oh yeah, dude.
Yeah, right. Come on, sauna, jacuzzi on the rooftop, and I want a grass rooftop. So I was like, it's just all grass and some railing because you got all that shit. And you're in Joshua Tree with that wind. I want people to be safe up there, right?
You know, I'm drinking whiskey after I get out of your sauna. I got to be careful. You got to have some sort of safety for me. Maybe a harness. Just put a harness on me so I can just walk around your roof safely. Oh, I love it.
Nice to have like a hanging thing. You can just hang your body off the side of it. It's just,
Oh, yeah, dude, full suspension. You're like, oh, my back feels terrific. Greg, bring me back up. You're in the sauna. Greg, I'm done. Just hanging off the side. This feels great. Greg?
Yeah, but that's it. And then I want like different aspects. I always thought like if I ever had like 5 acres, what I would do is try to reach out to like architectural schools. Yeah. And say like, hey, in California, and say, hey, if you guys need space to build projects on and to create places, you can put them on my land. That's a way they can make something. I get to keep it, and I'll just get the projects and plans for it and permits for it. And that's a cool kind of cheap way for them to create something and it stays on my land. Yeah. So
have you built stuff before or maintained stuff before? Like,
I've made stuff like as a kid, like as a teenager, my dad used to make me like do these like wood building projects during the summertime.
Oh, nice.
So he would make me take these classes. I hated it as a kid, but now I'm just like, oh man, it's great to like know that skill of how to like do a little bit of electricity or how to build walls and how to patch up shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, dude, to have those skills, like the old-fashioned skills of actually like knowing how to take care of your shit. I mean, we're just talking about being spoiled like in the West nowadays. Like, dude, so many people. I remember one time, one of our friends, somebody years ago got a flat tire outside of the Hollywood Improv, and it was me and 7 other comics, and I'm pretty sure most of them, 7 other male comics in their mid-20s to mid-30s. And I was the only one who knew how to change a flat tire. No one could even help me. And I was like, are you guys kidding me? You know how to change tires? And it's just like, oh, like people literally like, yeah, what are you going to do with that? What are you going to do with that? I'm like, dude, I'm the frail Jewish guy. How am I the only one? I'm not supposed to know how to change a tire. How am I the alpha of this group?
Oh, God.
So the skill that you have for even if you'd have to learn some new techniques or whatever, the fact that you like your dad was like, get over there. Dude, my dad was similar like that too. He would make us do stuff together, like in our house when we were a kid. Like, and I hated him for it at the time, like sprinkler stuff and like backyard stuff and like fixing stuff. And I was just like, oh, like other kids seem to do cool stuff, and like we're like, I want to like go to the river and ride motorcycles, and we're here with my dad wants to like dig things up and glue them together. But dude, like that, it teaches you values and respect, and like
totally.
Even though I still suck at all that kind of stuff. If I hire someone to do it, not only do I know what they're doing so they don't rip me off, but I also know how hard they're working. And so I respect them as other human beings. Like, hey, this guy might be the janitor or the plumber, and everyone thinks like, oh, you should be the doctor. Why would you be It's like he's just as valuable being
Plumbers
a plumber.
make dough too.
Oh, they do make a lot of money.
Plumbers and electricians.
My parents fucked me up because they were always like, you need to get A's and blah, 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 blah. And I still screwed up everything. But then I was like, I could have just been a firefighter and had a badass pickup truck, hung out with other firefighters, and they make great money. Like, why did you guys tell me I needed to work in an office? My buddy Nick made a ton of money.
Yeah, I had a friend, one of my white homies in high school, Timmy Brandon.
One of your white homies. I'll take
Timmy,
that. Duly noted. I didn't know he had categories.
Nah, you know, Timmy Brandon. Timmy was like, I mean, you know those dudes is just like really. I grew up in the South country, so this dude was like, he was cool, but very rednecky, hella country. His parents had a roofing business.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean. So Timmy, everybody was like, it was senior year, and everybody's like, you going to school? You going to school? And Timmy's like, school? Man, I'm just gonna take over my dad's roofing business. I've been doing it since I was 12. Yeah, Timmy's chilling. I've been seeing him on Facebook. He got like 7 kids.
Oh yeah,
just roofing, all burnt up. His whole body's just hella. His skin look leathery as fuck. But chilling. He just been roofing for the last 20 years.
Oh yeah,
but he learned that skill as a kid, and he knew like, everybody needs a roof.
Dude, totally. And like, it's like that's what do you call it? That's economics 101 right there. Like supply, demand. Everyone needs a roof. Like, there you go. Like, you're valuable contributor to society. Meanwhile, people getting paid, I don't know how much to work on Wall Street. And you're like, what are you really doing besides siphoning off of the guy who's actually up there putting the roof on? What are you doing?
Ripping off people.
No offense if you're listening to this and you're like, I'm a Wall Streeter and I love Fantasy House and I used to love you, Shefsky. I'm just generalizing for comedic sake, but yeah, I really do. I think there's something beautiful about having actual human primal skills to do things in contributing to society. And as long as you're like being an autodidact and actually still learning and studying and keeping an open mind, then I don't think you need to go to college. I think for some people though, like they wouldn't learn anything if they didn't go to college. They wouldn't interact with people of different like cultures and different like mindsets if they didn't go to college. But if you can like figure out how to be a good plumber or mechanic and also read books and travel and get to know people, I think that's probably better than like, spend all your money on college. And then, like I have a friend with an anthropology degree that, works in the restaurant business and hates it. It's like, how much is your debt? Oh, only $100 and some odd $1,000. Like, because they convince kids that are 18 years old that like they're supposed to know what they're going to be for the rest of their life, which a huge percentage of us don't, right?
No. Yeah.
So it's like,
you're going to change. Of course you're going to change. Who doesn't change?
So yeah, good for your roofing buddy.
People need that structure. Some people do need that structure. I remember the first day of school though, seeing all those like credit card companies like lining out on the first day of college, and like people like signing up for credit cards to get like a basketball hoop in their dorm. I was like, you really signed? Just the way they were just. I saw that. I was like, oh man, they're just like setting up to use us just to get us to.
That's so weird.
It's awful.
It's so weird, dude. It's how we function. Craig, what are you upset about? That's how we function. They should have buyer beware. Their parents should have taught them. I mean, it's a healthy thing. Oh yeah, dude. So the way my wife has a child development degree, and they charge her the same money that they pay you to get into finance to go to college. So she goes into all this debt, and it's like, wait, the college knew that there's no jobs in your industry unless you became like one out of I don't know how many million that wrote like the Dr. Ruth book. Other than that, the college knew you're never going to make this money.
Yep.
They literally assume, just like those jobs that pay crappy because they assume you're going to get a tip, they literally have to assume like, well, most of the people in this degree are female, and they'll mostly get married to a partner that does have to make a good living. So they want like they literally have to work all that out, because otherwise you're just thinking, well then, if you didn't figure that out and rationalize it that way, then you're just okay with just putting a huge amount of debt on someone that is never going to be able to pay it off.
Yeah, it's
like,
awful.
There should be some sort of merit towards like, okay, you're going for this degree. Well, here's how much it costs to get this degree. It costs a lot less than getting a so-and-so.
Yeah.
Right?
What grade does she teach?
She's right now she's she's a stay-at-home mom right now, but she just got a job being a director at a preschool.
Oh, nice.
So excited about that. Don't know how that's going to work with the coronavirus, because they're already like, hey, would you want to come in and do this? That? She's like, no, we shouldn't be in there at all right now. Again, you get these people that are just like, well, yeah, but how about this? Like, there's a virus. Dude, like, I can deal with like the stupidity when it's not in risk of my life. I'm just like, you be silly, drive around with your crazy stuff or say your silly stuff. But when you're like, you're going to get us all fucking killed. Like, what? It's
And this new spike is worse than the first one, man. The spike.
Even the word ow sounds like a medieval torture device. Don't sit on that thing.
Spike is worse. Oh man, I used to work with kids for a long time. That's why I asked.
Yeah, what'd you do?
Yeah. I mean, when I first got to California, I worked in like educational theater, where I would like go around to different middle schools, elementary schools, and high schools, and we would do these educational plays where we talk about like I did a play called Nightmare on Puberty Street, where we talked about puberty and nocturnal emissions, and then I did a play called Secrets, where I played a football player on a recruitment trip, and I have sex with a girl. I end up contracting HIV, and I have to like tell my dad that I have HIV, and then we have like a Q&A, and we talk to the kids about STDs and stuff, and kids come to us with like all these weird ass situations, and we kind of like merge them with like a guidance counselor
in the lunchroom with the other counselors.
Oh man, yeah,
you gotta hear what this one kid just told.
yeah, the stories. Yeah. The stories.
This kid got his dick stuck in his skateboard between the trucks and the wheel, and I don't know who to call. Do you guys know who to call? Yeah, no, that's great though.
It was fun, man. It was fun. Working with kids is great though.
I bet that made a big difference in their lives too. Having someone bringing theater into it, giving them a story, a narrative, helping them empathize and problem solve that way has got to be great for the brain, right?
Breaking it down for them. Yeah. It was fun, and I did like mentoring stuff. Yeah, I always love working with kids. I actually just stopped working with. I was working with autistic kids for like the last maybe what I guess about 4 to 5 years, and I just stopped. Got a different gig, but yeah, it's great. It's great.
That's friggin'
helps
awesome.
with that patience and helps with that empathy.
That's great, man. Well, hats off to you for doing good stuff, man.
Hats off to your wife, man. That's great.
Yeah, she's awesome. She's awesome. So I'm excited for her, and having to help her when she's like, they just emailed me asking me to go in to do this. I'm like, tell them no, you're not going in there. So we have some fucking biohazard suits. No one's going anywhere.
Yeah.
No, dude, I really do think that you guys that work with kids, it's amazing, and the amount of patience that you have. I know that there was that meme after the pandemic started, and it was like, teachers should be getting $1 million a year or something like that. And as hilarious as it is, it's like after the amount of times I've taken over since I'm in my home office now. I usually am at the office like all day, and I stop in to see my kids. But dude, since the pandemic, I'm like seeing what my wife goes through with. We have a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old, almost 2-year-old. And taking over for her, I take over for her every day at about 4:00 and let her have a glass of wine and watch The Modern Family. And I watch my kids. I mean, I almost pull my hair out in like 1 hour, and I love my kids. My kids are my life, and I just want to roll around with them and play with them. But like, you start to see why politicians are just like, fuck all you, I don't give a shit. It's just like, your kids just going nuts. You're just like, I'm trying to help you guys, and you guys won't. And I'm just like, I don't know what to do. All right, fine. Like, you can just see how any boss is just like, oh, screw everyone. I don't care what you do. Just leave me out of this.
It's fucking hard.
It is so hard. It is so hard. So hats off. And I'm sure
dealing with groups.
Dude, dealing with groups, but kid groups. Oh my god. Because you can't even blame them for anything. You're just like, oh, you dumb little asshole.
Look at you double dribbling.
And I don't want you to learn this the really hard way. Like, I want you to keep your arms, or like, I don't want you to, you know what I mean? Like, you can't be falling off of that thing or eating that. And like, it's just, it's nuts. So hats off to you guys. It's a beautiful contribution to the world. And I definitely hope that's one of those things that changes in the future where I don't know, maybe with automation and jobs having to go certain ways, maybe the value of like people that work with children that bar will get raised, and like they'll get more money and be more respected. Because it really is, it's weird how much of society is just like, oh yeah, just babysit the kids while we go out. And it's like, there's a lot of stuff going on. In fact, every second of your kid's waking life is informing the rest of their life.
Yeah.
Especially when they're in the formative years. And affecting our lives. So if you care about the economy and you care about all this other stuff that's not kids, well, this is a domino effect on everything else.
Totally. If a kid has a fucked up teacher that kind of like fucks them up, that kid and that kid's family's gonna have to deal with that. The relationship that kid has with
maybe
other
society, how that kid treats other kids, how that kid treats their kids when they grow up, if they get into crime, or if they do if they're just an unhappy person, and we have to try to figure out how to make them happy because they weren't taught how to, like, everything just like domino effect.
Oh man, it's fucking
like
snowball. It's horrible. I worked at the last school I worked at was the school kind of close by USC in the hood, Manual Arts.
Yeah.
Rough school, man. And just like, man, just the conversations I started having to have. I remember these kids about to fight, and I just told this kid, I was like, look, man, you're not going to see this guy. After you graduate, you're not going to see him. I don't see any people that graduated from high school. You're never going to see this person again. So don't fuck up your future and miss school over this relationship. You're not, it's just, I felt like, but then people aren't telling them,
They should make those kids that are dealing bullies and people being bullied. They should make them watch that Key and Peele skit. Have you seen the Key and Peele skit with the bully, where it gets explained like why he's bouncing on him, and like there's psychology behind the whole thing, which is you have to have a lot of wind to be able to explain that to the kids when you're just trying to say, don't fuck up your future, don't fight.
Yeah, come on, man, don't do that, man. That's what.
Well, okay, so just I guess. We'll wrap this up, but I want to know, like, what do you think could, like, since working in that school, what do you think, like, is there a one answer to this? Like, is it just simple, like, they just need more funding? Or is it like, we need to go back and listen to what Albert Einstein said about how schools should be? Like, you know what I mean? Like, is it?
I think me personally, I think our school system in the States, and most school systems, are just inadequate for the time. I think schools should be more like boarding schools.
Okay.
I think students should be living where they're learning at.
Interesting.
And I don't think they should be living. I think like up to like maybe 5th or 6th grade.
Yeah.
I think they should go to a place for a school year. I mean, they can go to their family on the weekends, and their family can come and see them anytime they want. But I think kids need to learn how to be with other people. I think they need to learn skills like washing and taking care of a group. But I mean, doing this, you have to really trust the adults that are around. You can't
definitely
be like fucking with these kids sexually and shit like that. And I think doing this process, parents will have more time to work on themselves, because I think a lot of these parents aren't educated properly and are working these jobs that don't give them any money. So I think by actually putting these kids in a system where they're being educated and being handled almost like in a boarding school process, and letting the parents actually be able to continue their education and get better jobs and just not have to not interact, because I want the parents. I also think parents should have to volunteer and go work at these schools and be in class with their kids. And, it's hard to fuck with a kid. It's hard to bully a kid when you see that kid's dad every other day. You know what I mean? So, I just think the bigger interaction that needs to happen with school systems and with society and stuff.
That's a lot to think about. That's really interesting. Yeah, that's great though. And
it will help them prepare for college. A lot of these. I remember people going to college and they would come back, the next year. Just not because the work was too hard. I just think they weren't prepared for that type of freedom. They weren't prepared for all of the new things. It's a lot of newness to going off and
I could see doing something where the kids go to school. First of all, I'm not a fan of the 5-day work week and 2 days off. I'm like they should have done more after the Industrial Revolution. I know that was a win to get a couple days off or whatever, but I'm like, we should at least get at least easy, at least even. Can we do
4-3?
4-3 or every other, or there's got to be some better balance than just work a bunch. And when you retire, you can take a break that's longer than 2 days. I don't think that's right. But I think if we did something if 3 days a week the kids went and did a sleepover school thing, that I could get with. Because 5 days with this current curriculum and just seeing them on the weekend wouldn't work for me. I love my kids too much. They're my little fingers anyways.
I mean, in my vision,
I got to hold them upside down by their feet and shake them out. I can't.
But the parents would be there all the time. And if you want your kid to say oh, I miss my kid can come back and stay with you. I see. But I think for some situations, the at-home situation for these kids is so crazy.
Oh, yeah.
I think they need to have a safe space where it also doesn't look like the kid is like, everybody knows that the kid has a fucked up situation at home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, that's Timothy. He has to stay here.
Exactly.
He's allowed to go home.
Exactly.
At Friday night, the teacher's like, all right, kids, pack up, stay to school. Not you, Billy. All the kids look. No, Billy lives at the school. Things are fucked up at home. I don't know how this turned into a fantasy house, went from fantasy house to a fantasy curriculum, but I think it's brilliant. And any way you can contribute to the world like that, I'm just like, if people listen to this, if this could inspire someone or it can make a difference, it's great, man.
Oh, man. Yeah, boarding schools all day.
Thanks for your peace of mind, man, and fantasizing about being out in the desert in your sauna sounds amazing.
Oh, I'm getting the sauna here too. I'm doing it.
Let's talk about the sauna because I'm looking into it. I'm reading online. And, it's like Chevy and Ford too. People are like traditional saunas all the way. You idiots with your EMF saunas, and then other people are like, well, he was an EMF sauna. They're like, I hate the traditional sauna. And they fight. This one's better than that one. Oh, you're all gonna die. And you're just like, fuck. I literally leave Reddit going, I shouldn't even get a sauna. I don't even.
Traditional saunas is with the coals and they throw the water. Okay, all right.
Some people like them, some people don't. I love that, and
I prefer that.
That's definitely something I got to do.
Do that shit. Get that Shefsky sauna going on.
Get that Shefsky. Get a Shefsky smelty. Shefsky sweat. That's the name of my sauna chains I'm opening.
Shefsky sweat.
Shefsky sweats.
Shefsky sweat.
It's a really weird. I don't know if that business plan is going to work. Like the opposite of a $10 million business idea. Shefsky sweats. It's an athletic attire. No, it's a sauna-only gym. Actually, that would probably kill it, right?
Hey, they used to have these spas up in the Bay Area for people. It's so expensive to own a home in the Bay that they'd have these like a chain of jacuzzi places where you go and just.
Now you said they used to. What happened to that?
I mean,
that's what scares me.
They end up shut down. People sketched out. I fucking loved it. I've been to it. I was
just chilling by yourself in the jacuzzi. There's two dudes making out over there. Some lady smoking crack next to you. Like,
they have like it's like a sauna for each room. Yeah. So, like a karaoke room, which you have like a sauna.
Oh, I love
it. Yeah, people fucking in there, whatever. Yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah.
I love it. Oh, my God. Where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Greg the Grouch, Instagram at Greg Comedy, website, gregcomedy.com. Check out my art at gregwithart.com.
Yeah, go to gregwithart.com, guys, and get something for him.
Yeah, get that Kanye right there.
Tell him Shefsky sent you. He loves me. And buy that Kanye print. And then add a little art to it that says, not my president underneath it. Totally. But when it first came out, I told my wife, I was like, better than Trump? Babe, it's better than Trump. And then everyone was like, no, it's going to take away votes from anybody else. And I was like, oh, I see what. Okay, we can't do that. We can't.
Yeah.
Even though he's nuts, I still think he might be a better president. I mean,
look. You got to give it.
That's more than we can say already, right?
I give it 70-30. Kanye will say 70% crazy shit, and then that 30% is always like, oh, he got a point. He got a point there. And then it's like, batshit crazy. Then it's like, whoa. I like what he said right there. That 13th Amendment is fucked up.
Too many crazy people in this world having power. I don't mind the crazy people, but I'm just like, can we get them away from the wheel?
Yes.
Something else got to be driving. I don't mind crazy people. I think there's a lot of contributions from crazies. Yes. Can we get them the fuck away from the wheel? They're not allowed to drive. We're all in this bus, and we're just like, oh, that crazy person's driving. Like, that's not right. They should be on the bus still. Let them enjoy themselves. Let them do a painting or make a song with the... Please don't let him drive the bus. Good God. Dude, thanks so much for this. Such a blast.
Thanks for having me, Shefsky. Good catching up with you too, man.
Dude, such a good time. # blessed guest, guys. Thanks for listening. If this is your first time listening, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Give us a review. Give us whatever review you think we deserve. But just give us a review. Just do it. Be authentic. Be real. If you want to criticize me, do it on the reviews. If you're a long-time listener, hit the share button. Send this to someone you know. I really appreciate it. Thanks to all of our support. So many great people all over the world. Ben over in England. Oh, so rad. Paul over in China dealing with lockdown after lockdown, but still being hilarious with his cat posts. Everybody's just kicking butt. So I really appreciate all of your support, guys. And be silly and have fun. Mwah!